Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Three Songs Podcast. I'm your host, Bay. For those of you that don't know, Three Songs Podcast is a podcast where we listen to three original songs from emerging or independent artists. And they tell what they mean to them, and we kind of see where the story takes us. And it always takes us to some pretty interesting places, I have to say. It's been a lot of fun, and we're on episode 10. I'm pretty proud to be on episode 10. And as promised, we have Bernard
Milé.
coming to us from Paris. His original home is in Warsaw, but he's living in Paris right now. He's a great musician. I'm really excited about this show. Came to us today with his three songs, MADA, What a Shame, and Where Are You? So I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed making it, and we'll talk afterwards. Thanks, guys. But how do you feel about putting your music out there and the reception of your music? Does that get a little depressing sometimes because you don't feel like it's getting the attention it deserves? And you think it should be a little easier to get your music out there and have people pay attention to it than it is right now?
Well, that's for sure. I think I struggle a bit, in my head with when I'm releasing my music is that it might get plenty of views, or it might get basically it gets plenty of views, but it doesn't get much likes, or not, pretty much never any comments or something. And so although it doesn't really it's not like I want to talk with people in the comments, or that I need it for self-validation, but if this happens, it actually means that if there are plenty of likes and comments or whatever, it actually means that it gets actual traction with people.
Yeah.
Not that they just stumbled upon it, but that they come back to it regularly or something.
Yeah.
And that would be that would be a really cool feeling, to know that you actually have people who come back to it,
Yeah.
or felt so good about something that they decided to write, oh my God, it's so amazing, and it's like you get this sort of feeling with others, right? Like for me, every song is a different project altogether. It's just something that flows out in a moment. Most of the songs I write and record, I do it the same day, basically, right? It's like a 5-hour thing.
Yeah.
I sit with an acoustic guitar, I invent something, and then basically record it in the evening, and then I don't touch it ever again. I have a bit of the chasing the demo syndrome. Once I've done it, I'm like, I can't do it better. There's a handful of songs I tried to re-record. One of them is actually MADA, the Japanese one.
Yeah.
This version, the final one, is actually like picked up from different stages in my life, because the backing track I did in 2022, I think.
Okay.
The vocal from the first ever version in 2018.
Okay.
And then I mixed it in 2024. I did the backing track for the song, and then I tried doing an impression of Japanese, because I was a big fan of Shintaro Sakamoto at the time. It's a very famous Japanese, soft rock, a little bit jazzy, a little bit, post-punk. I was just enamored with the way he sings. And just I was just walking around the apartment, there was Shintaro Sakamoto on the speakers, and I was just, singing Japanese lyrics I don't understand. And basically then I just tried to do an impression of that on my track. So those are not real words. I mean, apart from the occasional sayonara or something, right?
Manga thing have a sitar in it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, MADA.
MADA, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great sound.
And then you have the resonance strings, which are on the bottom.
I had to give me one of those.
I don't really have stories about these, about any of the songs I write. I mean, apart from the occasional breakup song or something. which then does have a story. But like for me, they are just like the lyrics are the least important part, I suppose.
Interesting.
Like for me, it's more about the ambience and the vibe of the whole thing. But then like they don't really have any meaning, if I can call it that. Like I just try to, pick some words that will sound cool together or fit, with the rhythm or something.
Yeah.
Although occasionally I find that like, if I read or listen to these lyrics like, years after or a couple months after, I'm like, actually I meant something there. So, like, I feel like it might be more of a me problem than a system problem, like in my case, because
Yeah.
like in general, it's another beast completely, right? But like if I learned how to work better with the tools that are available, maybe, it would actually blow up more, right?
Yeah.
Sure that like the way that things are nowadays is absolutely absurd. And I had this, I had just the line of, is it Helen or is it Jane? What a shame. And I just wanted to make a comedy song, basically.
Yeah.
Like I wanted the lyrics to be funny. But then when I finished it and I showed it to people, nobody laughed. So I guess I failed at that. And it's more tragic or sad than funny, especially with the arrangement.
So she slaps you in the face and walks away. What a shame, what a shame. Why don't you let some love shine in and not break her heart?
This version I did in Paris when I wasn't living here. I was in my previous apartment. And just one day I was looking, I didn't have any inspiration to make something new. So I just started going through all my audio files and stuff and to see if I can have like an old song that I can remake. And I found this one, and immediately I spent really the whole day just trying to find I don't know, the right place.
Why don't you let some love shine in and not
The structure was much simpler too, so I had to write some new chords because, like, for instance, basically the whole song was just dun 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 dun, the intro part over and over. I wrote like the chorus part where it goes to why don't you let some love shine in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that part wasn't there at all before. The lyrics were, but
why don't you let some love shine in?
what a shame is, a lucky coincidence that
Yeah. It's
it
great.
turned out well.
It turned out good. It turned out really good. Maybe that's a problem why people don't think it's funny. So where are you as that's your most personal song?
From these ones, yeah.
And that's like it's kind of like this longing for somebody, or what is it about exactly?
Well, basically, I got into a relationship not like barely a year ago, and we were spending every day with each other nonstop, and then she had to go for like holidays for 2 weeks with her friends, like she had some vacation planned. and I was just left alone in Paris suddenly after 2 or 3 months of being on each other's all the time together all the time, and I just felt like being how do you call it, like having a little bit of pathos here. And just missing somebody very, very hard.
And she came back?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay. That's a tragic story.
No, it's not tragic at all. It's just the tragic feeling of, sitting late at night with your glass of wine and being like, oh no, I can't see her for 3 more days.
Plus, you stopped hanging out with all your friends, so you have nobody to hang out with anymore either.
Yeah.
You're all by
Oh,
yourself.
actually, luckily I had no friends at the time in Paris, so
Oh, okay, good.
I could just spend, put all my energy into the relationship.
Your singing style, I guess how many voices do you do? You do a bunch of different voices, I guess, right?
Well, it's very instinctual,
Yeah.
like just because like most of the songs I do have like a structure of a loop, basically. Like you have the, I don't know, maybe the basic 4 chords for a chorus, right? I mean for the verses, then you have maybe 2 or 3 for the choruses, and then it just loops and loops and loops, right?
Okay.
And I try to make the arrangement more interesting around them so that it doesn't get boring, and then do the same with the voices. Usually the voices come last, right? And it's just like listening and being like, yeah, now something is needed so that we lift it up again, or so that it changes the vibe a little bit. Well, I've been playing since 2016, so when I was 16. But before that, basically, no, I had no interest in music. I wanted to be a comic book artist.
Really?
And I suppose it all changed when my father started a jazz club in Warsaw
Oh, okay.
when I was 14, and there were shows every day basically, and plenty of really cool musicians coming by. But then it sadly closed around 2016, and I like retrospectively, I think that this was like the point of like there's not enough music happening around, so now I need to start playing for myself, because
you feel
I
the
can't
void.
go anymore to a jazz show every day for free. But yeah, like music in general was a fairly big part of my life forever, because like our family house is basically a place where you had music blasting from 8 a.m. until everybody goes to sleep. Funk stuff, jazz stuff, different things.
What a great environment to grow up in, though, right?
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Moves through the sky. If you listen close, you can even hear.
It's fun with these podcasting, especially now I turned to video. Is video okay for you, or?
I mean,
the last couple,
do
which
I
enjoyed.
look handsome enough in the video?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Your hair's looking wow. You got to talk about me. I'm the guy that's like, I make fun of you because all my podcast things now, because I wasn't thinking about the video, I'm like this all the time.
No, yeah. I saw that on a couple.
So I'm gonna
of
have a
them.
T-shirt where it's like, 3 songs podcast. My head is like that.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's like the song thing. You gotta let it go sometimes. That was it, folks. Episode 10, 3 Songs Podcast is in the books. It's in the bag. I want to thank Bernard Milé for participating in today's story. Really enjoyed it, and it was great music, and I hope you enjoyed it too. Also, if you like more stories about musicians, this kind of slice of life storytelling, there's a great show on our channel, a new show called Psionic Periphery, and Daphner's doing a great job with it, and he's on episode 2, released today. So go over to Room Rock and check that out, or go to minus1000.com. You can eventually find it there too. Remember, if you're enjoying what you're hearing, please subscribe to the channel or follow us. And there's some other things going on over at Room Rock if you don't know the channel on YouTube. Thanks again, guys. This is your host, Bay. Take care.